Hello and welcome everybody back to the Tour webinar program. I am Emma from the Small Business Saturday team, and today we are talking about why you should do your own PR and exactly how you can do it with the lovely Rosie Davies-Smith, who is the founder of PR Dispatch. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Good to have you. Do get involved in the chat, say hello, let us know where you're from in the UK and maybe the weather. I know there's been a little bit of snow today, so do let us know if you're one of those lucky places that's had some snow. If you've got some questions, pop them in the Q&A section at the bottom, just to the left of the chat, and I'll ask Rosie those at the end. This session will be recorded, so if you miss anything, please don't worry because you can catch up later on. And if you would like to turn captions on, you can do so at the bottom right of your screen. Finally, a big thank you to BT for partnering with us once again on this programme. I think that is probably enough from me, so I will hand over to you now, Rosie, and I will see you at the end for some questions.
Thanks, Emma. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm seeing lots of snowy comments come in. I am in South Devon and it was snowing and now it's stopped. We never get snow here. So yeah, please feel free to throw any questions my way and do get involved in the chat. So today I'm going to be covering why you should be doing your own PR and how to do it. So I'm actually going to start with why PR is crucial for small businesses. So firstly, it's going to move people through your sales funnel faster. So what that means is when someone becomes aware of your business, maybe that's through marketing, maybe that's through advertising, or maybe that's even through PR. If they see earned press, logos on your website, kind words said about you from the Telegraph, the Times, the Guardian, they're much more likely to trust your business and therefore move to the sale quicker. It's going to increase brand touch points. Now, there's loads of different kind of guidance on how many touch points you need before someone purchases from you. Some people say 11, some people say 21, some people say 30. But what press does, no matter how many it is it increases brand touch points. So obviously you've got all your marketing, your social media, your website, your email marketing maybe. And having press as well means that people are becoming more aware of your brand in more spaces. And it's going to make your marketing work harder. So when you send an email marketing campaign, for example, if that's kind of the marketing funnel that you're using, by including press or what the press have said about you, or maybe highlighting a product that the press have featured, it's going to make that marketing that you're doing much better and therefore work harder. So it's been proven that the PR is 90% more effective than advertising. And the reason being is because PR is someone else saying that your brand, your business, your service, whatever you do is fantastic. It's not you saying it. So PR is a really, really crucial mix of your marketing and advertising. So just a little bit about us. Our tagline is, it's PR, not rocket science, but we reckon you could do that too. PR Dispatch advocates brands doing their own PR. Our members have secured thousands, literally thousands and thousands of pieces of coverage on their own. A lot of them came with no previous PR experience. A lot of them came not even knowing kind of what PR was. Joined PR Dispatch or watched our free workshop and have secured countless pieces of press coverage. I ran a PR agency for 20 years before this. And 20 years of running an agency showed us that you do not need one. PR is best done when it's done closest to the people that are running the product or the service. So don't think that you need an agency to do PR. And that's the biggest mistake I think I saw when running an agency. People would come to us and say, we've just launched, we need PR. We're going to pay £2,000, £3,000 a month for a PR agency to do it. And actually, it is really, really easy to do yourself. The press really do want to hear from you. They're not scary. They're actually really great people. If you approach them in the right way, you will secure great press coverage. So why you should be doing your own PR and how to do it, please do take photos, videos, share and tag us on PR Dispatch. Give us a follow. We love to see kind of who's kind of joined workshops. So yeah, please do pop on your social media and take photos of this and share it with us. So I'm going to start with in-house. DIY, if you like it. So in-house is another term for doing it yourself, doing your PR yourself. We call it in-house. That's just what it means. You doing it, whether you're the founder or you've got someone kind of working for you that's doing it. But in-house versus agency. What's the difference? What's the benefits? What's the cons? We're then going to cover building blocks of PR success. There are a few things you do need to secure great press, so I'm going to cover those. How to find your target media, who you should be contacting, what publications, perfecting your pitch. And then at the end, I'm going to cover benefits of in-house PR, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. So why doing PR in-house is best. So I just want to talk a little bit about PR agencies, because I know there's lots of misconceptions. It's a dark art. So I'm going to break down. I ran a PR agency for many, many, many years. It was very successful, but we were finding that the brands that were doing it through PR Dispatch alongside the agency were doing it much better, and they were doing it much better themselves than us at an agency. So PR agency, it will cost upwards of £3,000 a month. I'm not saying that you're never going to need a PR agency, but I think a PR agency is good for maybe you're doing an event, and you need it's a very specialist event, you need a guest list there, or you want to do a sit down editor dinner. That might be something you use a PR agency for. Maybe you're doing a charity collaboration and it's quite large scale. That may be something you need a PR agency for. For ongoing PR, and especially if you're a small business in the early stages, you do not need a PR agency. I say to brands when they're doing more than £100,000 a month, maybe that's the time to be thinking about a PR agency. So another thing that a PR agency doesn't have that you have is lack of in-house knowledge. And again, in-house is just you. Lack of you, your business, your brand, your insights, your industry, your culture. You know you better than anyone. So why would you then outsource that to someone that doesn't have that knowledge? Dependency. So over-reliance on an agency will limit your in-house knowledge. I think we always, when I first started the agency, I had no kind of previous PR agency experience. So we approached it in a really honest and holistic way. We worked side by side with our clients when we ran the agency, but it became very clear how many brands out there didn't know what PR agencies did, therefore didn't know how to manage them, didn't know kind of what to ask them, how to push them, how to drive them, how to get the best results from them. Before you even think about a PR agency, you need to understand how PR works, and you need kind of yourself or a team member to understand kind of the ins and outs of PR. Limits control, I'd say over activities and messaging. If you see something in the press, maybe I was just talking to Emma about this actually, because it's something we do. Maybe you see something like a campaign in the press about the 4-day work week, and you do a 4-day work week, but your PR agency doesn't. You can jump on that really, really quickly, and that kind of them not having that insider knowledge limits your PR opportunities. And there's a lot of overlap. You have the internal capabilities for PR, whether you're a solo founder or a small team, whatever you are, you can do PR, and there's always a lot of overlap with an agency. So pros of doing it in-house, and again, this is just yourself, DIY, gives you a deep understanding. Your industry, the problems in your industry, your business, your founder story, kind of your team stories. You have such a deep understanding of every aspect of your team, your business, your industry. So you can jump on the press really, really easily. You can upskill your team. I think it's a really valuable skill to understand PR and be able to do PR. It's not only kind of contacting the press, it's storytelling and, building relationships. PR is just about, building honest relationships. So it's great to empower your team if you have a team with those skills. You own your messaging. So how you speak, what you want to say, how you want to come across. So by doing it yourself, you're able to do that. If you do have a team, you can turn your team into PR thinkers and doers. Kate, who works for PR Dispatch, she actually manages our press database. She does our PR. She had no previous PR experience, absolutely none, before she came to PR Dispatch. She got the role of kind of managing our press database, but actually she does PR Dispatch's PR as well. and she's secured coverage in the Telegraph. She's secured coverage in the Guardian, and she's done an incredible job. So she's turned into a PR thinker, creator, doer, and it's actually affected all other areas of her role. And most importantly, it's going to save money, thousands of pounds, and save time. Biggest misconception with outsourcing to a PR agency is it's going to save you time. It's absolutely not. You have to manage, and you have to have someone to manage a PR agency. If you're just going to hand over to PR agency and think, okay, well, that's done now, that's not how it works. You need someone communicating with them, feeding maybe new products to them, feeding angles to them, checking in with them, sending them new imagery. It takes a lot of time. And I found it takes more time to manage an external PR agency than having someone or yourself doing it DIY. So if I've told you all that, but what if I told you you can do PR in under an hour each week? We have plenty of brands doing it, and they've proved it's possible with thousands of pieces of coverage. I am going to caveat with you do need access to a press database, and I'm going to cover that a bit later. The biggest waste of time is hunting down press contact details. Please do not think, okay, yeah, we're going to do our PR, and then think, okay, we're going to go and find all the contact details for the press. There are databases that you can use. Please, please, please use a database. If you've got access to a database, an hour a week is all you need to be securing some really great press. I can see lots of comments in the chat. I'll pause halfway through and have a quick look at the comments. So building blocks for PR success. Before you start, there are a few things you need. Now, I'm going to start with saying that PR Dispatch and the agency actually in the last kind of 20 years of kind of my university, my career, and everything I've done has all been in product, e-commerce, retail, physical. It's got to be physical product. So a lot of the examples I'm going to be showing you are product based. I'm going to talk about service as well. We are a service-based business, so we understand that side as well. But I separate the two types of PR into product PR. If you have a physical product, you fall under that category, and service PR. If you have, I think I saw someone before, like a dog grooming service, that is a service. If you're a lawyer, that's a service. Kind of anything that's not a physical product will fall under service PR. So must-haves for product businesses, cut out images. Why? Because this is what the press use. So all these pages that you see, whether it's online or in print, they need your cut out imagery. Please get it done professionally. Don't try and do it yourself unless you're a photographer and got a really well lit studio. It's not a big investment kind of when you're thinking about in terms of what you'd be paying a PR agency if you were going to do it with a PR agency. This is a much better way to spend your money. So a few tips and guidance for cut out imagery on a clear or white background. Your photographer will know what this is. JPEG or PNG, the file type. And you need 300 DPI, which is classed as print, and 72 DPI for online. Take a screenshot of this, take a photo of it, give this to your photographer. They will understand all of that, but that is what the press need in terms of imagery. They're going to feature your product within the press. And just some really nice examples here of brands that have done it really well. So this is for product and service businesses. Behind the brand, behind the scenes images. Again, these are product examples, but you can do exactly the same. We've done exactly the same for service businesses. Maybe it's kind of magazines laid out on a table because we're a PR agency, cup of coffee, you get kind of the gist. Behind the brand images, this is when kind of you're securing maybe interview pieces or kind of more like opinion pieces. This is the kind of imagery that they'll need. Again, professional, please. It really does pay to have some really great quality professional imagery. And finally, for everyone, every single person, please go and get a headshot. Get a really good headshot. Whether your product or service, headshot, you need a headshot as a founder. Make it relevant to the business that you run. So I've got Rixo there on the magazine example. And then actually really nice example of behind the brand. You can see kind of the lampshade and putting flowers in the pot. They've got their cutout imagery and they've also got a founder shot. So that covers all three types of imagery in one magazine that I've just talked about. They're in their shop. They've got their prints behind them. Ganny here, she's wearing the product. Obviously, Grace Beverly again, she's wearing the product that she makes. If you're a service business, you know, for me in PR, I normally have a pile of magazines on my lap, try not to be too cheesy about it. Or I'm reading a magazine, or I'm sitting in my office. So yeah, make it relevant to what you do. But some really great headshots, founder imagery is so beneficial for press use. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat. If anyone's joined us and they've got any questions, would you mind popping them in the Q&A just so they don't get missed at the end? I'll answer all questions at the end, but I'm just having a look. Michelle, biggest issue with in-house PR for micro businesses, finding sources to pitch you, stalking the media on social media platforms to get someone to pitch to is very time consuming. Exactly. So that's what I said. Do not do PR without access to a press database. And I'll talk about press databases in a bit. Cool. Okay, great. I'm just being lean. Hi, Michelle. Great. This is great. Hi, guys. Keep them coming in. This is lovely. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. So I'm going to talk about how the press really work. So the first thing that you should know is they need your pitches. You're not annoying them. You're not pestering them. They cannot do your job without your product suggestions or your angles. And I'll talk about angles in a bit. So if you have a service business, angles for the features that they fill out. Most features are regular. So it means they have the same feature running. For example, the Stylist magazine, they have a feature called the Style List every week. Every single week it's there. And they are constantly looking for great products to put in there. You know, the Times will have, you can see it here, the shop feature at the bottom here. Every week, they are looking to product to put in that feature. And it's the same for services as well. You know, they'll have a meet the founder or my work week. And every week or every month, however regular they run it, they'll be looking for people to include. So it's very formulaic, if you like. They're always looking for people, products to include in their features. So they need your pitches. Now, you want those pitches to be relevant to the publication and relevant to their audience. For example, The Guardian is heavy on sustainability. If you are a fast fashion brand that are selling, I don't know, dresses at £4, they're not going to feature you because it's not relevant to their audience. It's not relevant to the publication. But pitching products or angles to relevant publication is what they want. The other thing is timely, and that might be because of a trending topic. It might be, you know, there's a trending topic, for example, the Olympics. And so there's a big, heavy, there's loads of people featuring sportswear or activity classes you can get involved with. Or it might be because of their editorial calendar, the lead times that they're working to, Christmas, Mother's Day, summer, holidays. And I'm going to cover lead times in a minute. So they want to be contacted via email. Please, please, please do not contact the press in any other way unless they ask you specifically to. Like sometimes you might see on X, formerly Twitter, you know, send me your suggestions, but majority, they want to be contacted by email. There is no need for the phone anymore, unless you've got the most urgent story. Taylor Swift has worn something of yours or gone to your restaurant. You do not need to pick up the phone. We say it's PR, not ER. It's very, very true. So please via email and use keywords. I'll cover keywords in a minute. You're working to their lead times. So don't be sending a Christmas pitch to kind of your monthly press now, because the monthly press are working on April. So just be aware of their lead times. And I've got a calendar to share with you guys in a minute. Oh, I just wanted to cover this on the left. This is one of our members, Davy J. They are a swimwear brand. We've got a case study actually on the website. They this year managed to secure press features every single month of the year. PR is all year round, even if your product is seasonal. It doesn't matter if you run a Christmas decoration shop, your PR is all year round. Because if you're not pitching products or kind of, you know, the fact that you're open, you're pitching profile press, you know, maybe it's, if you are, for example, a Christmas decoration shop, you're only open in October, November, December. In January, you could be pitching how we doubled our profit in our Christmas decoration shop this year. You know, trends that we saw. You should be pitching all year round. You do not pick up and drop PR. And I think actually that's one of the biggest mistakes I see brands make. They only do it for 2 months and then they're like, oh no, actually it doesn't work for me, so I'm not going to do it. You do PR continually for the lifetime of your business every single month. So you can download this. I asked Emma if she shared the link to, hopefully the QR code works, because I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but this, whether your service or product, this will help you guys. It's a PDF of national days and what you should be pitching, what they might be working on. So yeah, I'm not going to go into it all because I'd be here all day talking about every single month, but please go and download this. It's a free PDF that will save you time on research, on kind of trying to figure out what they're working on. You'll never miss kind of a reactive opportunity. We had a member, I'm going to share in a minute, but she's got a coffee brand. She pitched for National Coffee Day. She got some great coverage. So that's all in there for you. It will help to improve your planning, and the lead times are in there for you. So what are the press working on in November? I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea. This is actually off our dashboard. So long lead press, which are your monthly magazines, are closing their issues for February, working on March and April. Your short lead publications, which are your weekly magazines, will be working on November, the end of November, December, and January. And then daily and online. So daily is anything printed daily newspapers, you know, the ones that are printed every single day that you find at your local shop or the petrol station, are working on November and December. So this gives you an idea of the kind of span that the press are working on at any one time. So when you're pitching to them and I say, you know, pitch something relevant to what they might be working on, keep this in mind. It's really, really important. And you don't need to do all 3 lead times. You know, small business, myself included, I never know what I'm doing next week, never mind in April. So if you can't do long lead, that's absolutely okay. Focus on short lead and online, or just focus on online if you kind of can't do short lead. You know, online press, it's very reactive, it's very fast paced, and there's loads of opportunities. So finding your target media. So first you need to figure out which publications, and by publications, I also mean trade publications, online publications, printed publications, podcasts, TV, you know, any sort of media. All PR is free. You should never pay for PR. That's not PR, that's advertising. I bet in the chat now, lots of people are going to say they've been approached or they have paid. I'll talk about that in a second. But PR is always free. So just remember that you're looking for free kind of press coverage. Good place to start is analyzing competitors or brand friends, you know, other brands that, or businesses that sit in your space that your customer might shop with or use. Understand how your audience consume media. So if they're Gen Z, they're probably watching a lot of YouTube, maybe listening to podcasts, online, probably not reading print. If they commute a lot, you know, think about those commuter printed newspapers. Maybe they live in the countryside. They've probably got, you know, maybe they've got a subscription to Country Living, great magazine, by the way. Good Housekeeping, another really good one. So understand how your audience are consuming their media, and your customer profile goes a long way when it comes to press. And, you know, shout loud about your expertise and create a media list. You know, really honing in on what you're an expert in will help you to decipher where you should be. You know, maybe it's just trade press, maybe it's local press. If you've got a shop or a physical space, local press is so fantastic, so good. So really kind of hone in on what your expertise are and where your media are. So I'm going to cover two ways kind of to go about starting your PR journey, if you like. So I'm going to give Lucy a massive shout out. A lot of you might know her. She has Hype Yourself. She's got a Substack newsletter, and she has a book, Hype Yourself, the book. If you are a service business or you are a solo founder and you want to put your expertise at the forefront of your business, so for example, maybe you're a funeral directors, not very kind of light, but maybe you're a funeral directors and you're really trying to change the way people approach like dealing with grief and a funeral, your expertise is so important for that type of business. Lucy is absolutely amazing. She doesn't do one-to-ones anymore, but her book and her Substack are absolutely exceptional for understanding how to craft, a really great story around your expertise and hyping yourself, putting yourself at the forefront of your brand or business. Even if your product, I recommend buying Lucy's book. It's so, so good. So yeah, I'm going to put Lucy there. If you want access to a database as a physical product or e-commerce business, we do that. PR Dispatch does that, and it really does, getting your product into the press, getting your story into the press really does rely on you having access to a database. If you are a service business and you're looking for a database, one I would recommend is Cison, CISON. They have quite a good one. But if you're physical product or e-commerce, make sure you come to us because we can help you guys out. So building relationships with the media. So a few things to understand: you're helping them to do their job. Don't feel like you're pestering them. And I'll talk about how often you're going to go to them in a minute, but you're helping them to do your job. So take out the ick contacting the press. They want to hear from you. Only contact relevant publications though, and people. Please never send a press release. Never send a press release to hundreds of people. Just never send a press release unless kind of you've got really, really big news. Press releases are dead. That's kind of, yeah, you got really big news. Don't worry about a press release. We call it spray and pray. When you say, oh, I'm going to send a news blast out to 100 press, they hate it. They won't open it. They'll just delete it. And it's not a good way to build relationships. Contact people one-to-one. We say 5 to 10 a week is a really good number. Really think about what you're sending them, what's going to be of interest to them. Be patient. They're only going to respond if they want to take your pitch forward at that exact moment. The likelihood that they are working on something that you of relevance that you have just pitched to them is very, very unlikely. So be realistic. They get a lot of emails. It's about them kind of reading it, flagging it, maybe searching their inbox at a later date and you popping up. Maybe they're doing a feature on cake shops in Brighton and you pitched them 6 months ago. It's about being in their inbox. As I said, email them, please email them, don't phone them, don't contact them via social media unless they ask. You want to be in their inbox. Personalize your outreach, and it really does work. Is beneficial to do a bit of research. It only takes 2 minutes to have a look at what they wrote last. So have a quick look. Maybe they write a lot about women in business. And there you go. That's kind of the angle then you can then pull on. And lead with a hook. And I'm going to talk about bad hook and good hook in a minute and what I mean by that. So Lucy Hitchcock, so we've had Lucy Wern, here's Lucy Hitchcock, is a really good example of someone that has built a great relationship with the media. And she has done that by expert positioning. So yes, she has a product-based business, but she has absolutely positioned herself as an expert in wine. I don't know if anyone follows her, but on TikTok and Instagram, she doesn't talk about her product very often. She sells wine, kind of tumblers and a wine bottle that you can pour the whole bottle in and it keeps it insulated. But most of her content is around reviewing wines and reviewing them really well and reviewing affordable wines. She finds great dupes. And she has plowed so much effort into becoming an expert that she has then secured so much press, and her brand, Partner in Wine, you can see it on all 3 of these, has been mentioned in the press. So it isn't about the product, it's about her reviews and her positioning herself as an expert, and expert commentary has led to great coverage. So positioning yourself as an expert is a really great way to build great media relationships and be the go-to person within your sector. So crafting a standout pitch. So I've got product and service here. So a few things that are important. Product, please include the prices. If you're pitching product, please include what the price is of the products that you are suggesting. A lot of publications are price kind of sensitive. They might only feature products under £150. So therefore, make sure you include your pricing. If you have the imagery available, so as I said at the beginning, cutout imagery is really crucial for product press. So make sure you say we have cutout imagery available. Make sure it's relevant to what they're working on. I showed you lead times earlier. So if it's a trend, say, be great for the orange trend that's going to be big for 2025. If it's for a particular lead time, could be a great gift for Valentine's Day. Just be aware of what they're working on. As I said, you would not be pitching Christmas features or Christmas products or gift guide to your long lead monthly press now, because they're working on April. And I always say embed an image, and this is actually for product or service. If you're a creative business, like, having images is really important for the press. So if you can embed an image, and by embed an image, you can Google this, but you just embed it in your email client. So when that email comes up on their phone or their laptop, they see that image straight away instead of having to download or kind of access the image as an attachment. It's there. And if you've got great product images, very quickly they can see, oh, that looks like a great product, and they've got great images. So what's important for service pitches? Facts, figures, and quotes. How are you solving the problem within your industry? What's the facts around it? Any figures you can give? For example, we are creating woven rugs out of 20 million bottles that are collected from the sea every year. It's a massive issue. This is how long it takes. This is how much it costs the government. Anything like that is great. And quotes from you as the founder, again, for services, is really, really good. We break down, we call it profile press, but anything that is, interview based, or maybe about the founder, maybe not even about your business, maybe it's about you personally. We break it down into industry expertise, founder perspective or experience, and brand news and opinion. So industry expertise, as I just showed you, is what Lucy's done. So she's constantly putting out industry expertise on her own channels, and then she's actually being asked by publications to comment on, give me 5 affordable champagnes for a Christmas dinner. So that's industry expertise, positioning yourself as an expert within your industry. Founder perspective and experience is insights on your personal journey, and that might be not even about your business. It might be about you buying a house. We had some personal press around me moving from London to Devon, how I've navigated that, how I've found friends down here, how I've run a business remotely. So a lot of the time it's not even about the business. It's about putting yourself personally at the forefront of your press. Or it could be business experience, for example, my work week is one that you'll see a lot. How I built it is another one. And then brand news and opinion is something that the press are already talking about. So the 4-day work week, for example, was a big campaign kind of a few years ago, and we got loads of press around that because the press were already talking about it. So for both, there's a few things you need, whether you're pitching product or service or kind of profile across both. A really strong subject line, put it into ChatGPT. It will craft one out for you. An engaging hook, again, ChatGPT, get it to create you hooks. Keep it really short, absolutely no more than 3 paragraphs. You're not attaching press releases. Just don't kind of bombard them with everything. You want to make it enticing. You're not writing the feature for them. You're just giving them enough that they might then say, actually, yeah, this would be really good. And use keywords, describe your business really, or the product that you're pitching, the service that you do really, really, really well, because they will search their inbox when they're looking for that bakery in Brighton. They will be searching their inbox. And it's at the bottom here. This is the one I told you about, who got some great coverage for International Coffee Day, because they linked it to a key date. So how often to pitch? So we recommend anywhere between every 6 to 18 weeks. You're going to be going back to them time and time again. It's not pitch once and then kind of you forget about it. That depends on how kind of quickly you're turning over product, if you're a product business, or if you're a service business. What's your new angle? Maybe it's that you kind of have experimented with late night shopping and no one came, so that's kind of the new angle. I don't know. So we break press down into request opportunities and proactive outreach opportunities. Request opportunities are when the press are actively looking for something at that exact moment. Spend 10 minutes a day checking these. You can see these on X. Twitter, formerly Twitter. So that's a really good place. Or if you have access to a database, they will share these with you. So request opportunities, just keep on looking out if there's anything that might be relevant for your brand and business. Proactive opportunities are where you are proactively reaching out to them with your suggestions, whether product or, you know, maybe angles that you could be pitching in. Spend 1 to 2 hours a week pitching to people. We say 5 to 10. If you do this once a week, you are doing more than 95% of small businesses. So yeah, don't be afraid and just start. I'm just going to quickly cover following up. But I've got a blog post from one of our members, actually, Good Tuesday, that covered following up and all their other kind of tips for press success, which Emma will share, so thank you. But you always follow up 5 to 7 days after, forward your original email, and make sure that you are following up with going back to them time and time again with a new product pitch or a new profile angle if you're a service business. So I said I was going to talk about good hook, bad hook. So your angles really do matter. I see so many people try to pitch with, we've launched a new collection. That is not exciting to the press. We're opening a new store. Not exciting to the press unless it's regional. So here's some good examples and some bad examples. So bad example, introducing the productivity method, allowing people to improve work-life balance since 2022. Not interesting to press. So this would be a good example of angles. 5 steps to build and stick to good habits in 2025. You're offering something that's advice. Why forming habits in 2025 is easier than ever. I committed to good habits for the full year. Here's what I discovered. Forget willpower. Here's how to create lasting habits that actually work in today's fast-paced world. Straight away, there's so much more value, and you can tie your product or your service to them really, really easily. It's not, the story isn't about you introducing your product or service, the productivity method. It's about you giving their audience value. So another bad example, meet the Barnsley-based fashion brand making waves. I absolutely hate when I see pictures that are like making waves or launched or anything like that, new, like that's not exciting to them. So a good example of that would be, from the founder perspective, why we'll never move our multi-million-pound fashion brand from Barnsley. Straight away it's intriguing. I want to know why you're never going to move your multi-million-pound fashion brand out of Barnsley. Tell me. So that hook could be the difference between you securing press and not securing press. So I'm just going to end with the benefits of in-house PR. So I said this at the start, but it means you can, and buy in-house, by the way, for anyone who has joined us, see there's a lot more people here now. Buy in-house, I mean DIY, doing it yourself, whether you're the founder or you've got a team of people. That's what I mean by in-house, not outsourcing it to a PR agency. So it allows you to own your narrative. You know, we know that you or your team are going to convey your story with accuracy and passion versus a PR agency. It does save time. You know, outsourcing to an agency takes a lot of time. You need to be sending them stuff. You need to be filling them in on updates, information, checking what they're sending out kind of in terms of products. Is it products that you've still got online? Sending them new products, sending them new angles, sending them new stories. It takes a lot of time, and you do need someone to manage that. It means you can upskill yourself or your team. And, you know, if you can add more value to someone's role, very valuable in 2024 and 5. It means you can nail your messaging. You know, I talked about hooks. You're going to create the best hooks, better than a PR agency. React quickly. You might see something in the, you know, on social media or the press today that you can jump on. We call it newsjacking. You might see something and you can react really, really quickly to it. You know, the press are talking about something that's really, really relevant kind of to your industry. Jump on it quickly and cut costs. You know, doing it yourself is going to save a mega amount of money. So if you do PR in-house, and as I said, you're going to need access to a database to do it, you're going to save 3%. It's going to cost you 3% of what it would with a PR agency. So it's a 2022 plus £22,000 plus saving. So I'm happy to ask any questions. I just wanted to share this. This is actually from our community group a week ago. This was one weekend's coverage in the Times, Country Homes and Interiors, and all of these brands, I think most of them are found. All of these people tagged are founders. A lot of them are small businesses. A lot of them had never done PR before, and they secured all this coverage. So I just wanted to show you it is so possible to do it yourself and to do it well. So if anyone's got any questions, pop them in the Q&A, and then I'm happy to answer them in a second. Just finally, you are the best person to tell your team and brand story. You can do it with the right assets and knowledge, and with the right approach, you can secure coverage. And it is possible even if you've not launched. So don't forget to download the free download. And if anyone wants to come and have a look at what PR Dispatch does, the access to the demo is there.
Fabulous. Oh, thank you so much for that, Rosie. That was an amazing. I feel so in depth and so to the point, practical for everybody. I especially liked PR, not ER. I think that will definitely be sticking.
We used to have it on the wall at our old agency. It's PR, not ER, which it is.
I love it. We have got quite a few questions, so I will dive straight into those. First question is, lots of brands and journalists seem to be dropping X for Blue Sky. Have you found that, Rosie?
Yeah, so we've only just made the jump. I think it's worth being on both. Definitely, it's a really interesting dynamic, and I'll be looking forward to seeing kind of what happens with that. But yeah, I definitely recommend being on both.
Is it best to send pictures rather than press releases?
Yes. Please don't write a press release. There are only very few occasions when you need a press release. If you are sending something that has a lot of I call it need to know information, dates, times, addresses. So like a store opening, for example, or an event, that requires a press release. Nothing else requires a press release. It's waste of your time.
Is it too late to pitch online press for Christmas gifts?
No, we have our database has access to all the Christmas gift guides, so absolutely not. Online press are still compiling, and they will be until about the 14th, 15th of December.
Do you have a media database that you recommend, and could you share some rough costs?
Yeah, so if you're e-commerce or product, obviously PR Dispatch, which is ours, and I've just seen how much is it to access. It is from £90 a month, but I recommend going for the Pro option, which has the Christmas gift guides and all the gift guide stuff that you'll need, which is £150 a month. For non-product businesses, I recommend Cison, Cison. It is a lot more expensive than ours, but it's a good database.
Another question says, probably too specific for here, but what if what we sell isn't ours? For instance, this may be relevant for independent shops that source rather than make their own products.
That's a really good question. I'm not too specific on niche at all. We get asked that a lot. It's exactly the same as product press. There's really no difference. The only thing that you're doing when you're pitching is you're putting yourself as the credit. I would try and avoid giving too much detail on the different brands. And if you are a shop or a retailer, or you're selling multiple brands or products, you really want to be increasing that profile press. You know, what makes your store unique? Are you sourcing everything that's kind of sustainable? How are you going about that? What's your founder story? What's your journey? So yeah.
What's the best way to do PR if using the press or magazines isn't a good fit for your business? I have a genealogy business and a tourist guide.
Oh, cool. So you want to be positioning yourself as an expert. So I can tell you right now, because the general press are never interested in PR Dispatch. They couldn't care less. They don't like PR. They really don't want to feature us. So for businesses where kind of your traditional media isn't right, you really want to be positioning yourself as an expert, doing talks like this, you know, putting content on your website and diving into your personal life as well. We've had a lot of press around the 4-day work week. We've had a lot of press about relocating from London to Devon, being a completely remote team, how we navigate that. I had a lot of press when I had my babies very close together and being a solo female founder. So find other aspects of your business or personal journey that are going to be of interest to the press and then pitch that in.
Is national PR helpful if you only sell locally?
No, but I think, sorry, it is still helpful. I think that if you only sell locally, then the personal angles that I just talked about will raise your profile. So say you get a feature in the Telegraph about I saw one the other day actually about you've had a house fire and you're talking about insurance for house fire, for example, and you get a feature in the Telegraph. It's more personal about you, but it has a link to your business. You can then put that logo on your website, even though it wasn't about your business. There's a backlink to your website. And that's really valuable. So I would still do national press, but if you only sell locally, go really personal with your press to national press.
And people are really nosy, aren't they? Like if I see someone's name in a story and I'm interested in them, I will definitely look them up and see what's going on.
Exactly. We've got a backlink from the Telegraph to PR Dispatch, and the article is actually about me moving from London to Devon, and it is our biggest driver of traffic, and it's our most valuable link. It's got nothing to do with PR Dispatch. It's got nothing to do with PR, but it is our most valuable SEO link. So sometimes putting yourself and your personal life at the forefront can really help.
Yeah. If you're a service-based business, is reaching out to editors individually on LinkedIn something you'd recommend?
No, but LinkedIn is a very valuable tool. I would never reach out by anything apart from email unless they specify, but you're onto something there with LinkedIn. Connect with them on LinkedIn, engage with them on LinkedIn, get involved in the conversation on LinkedIn. Don't DM them, because the press will work from their majority, I'd say 99% work from their inbox. So that's how you're going to pitch to them, but definitely build a relationship with them on LinkedIn. Yeah.
What should we look for on Blue Sky? For instance, are there hashtags like #journal request?
Yeah, I've just actually seen Caroline share it. So #journal request, #press request are the two that you want to be looking for. So yeah, definitely worth looking at those two.
If you've won an award as a service-based business, what is the best way to get some PR from that?
Love that. Well done. So it's not something for national press, but definitely local press. So if you won an award, contact all your local online and print publications. Make sure you get a really good photo of you with the award. Make sure you get a really, really good photo. And you can include it in your pitches. So, award winning, if it's relevant to what you're pitching to, make sure you include it. It's a really good kind of gives you kudos in future pitches. But yeah, definitely regional press.
It's kind of a three-part question here from Caroline. Do you still rate following target journalists on X given its demise?
Oh, I think there will always be journalists that are using X. It's not a platform I particularly like or value, but not everyone says that. So there will always be the journalists on it. If you haven't got an account on X, or if you're not active on it, I wouldn't follow them. I would actually use LinkedIn as kind of a better platform. And if you're creative, if you're running a creative or product business, and you're in maybe the fashion, homeware, lifestyle space, make sure you're following them on Instagram as well if they are public.
Here, Harrow, which is help a reporter out, isn't it? I believe.
Yes.
I gather that's closing soon. Are there any alternatives that you recommend?
Oh, there is a group called Spotlight. It is a Facebook group. That might be a good one to check out.
Another question in the chat. Should you respond to requests if they relate to you personally but have no direct relation to the product you sell?
Absolutely. Yes, go. Yes, absolutely. 50% of your press might be personal, and that's okay. It might be, an illness you've overcome or something you found when having kids, and it's got nothing to do with the product you sell, the business that you run, but people really relate to it. So yeah, put yourself at the forefront personally if you can.
My partner and I are co-founders of our team building with sheep business, Raising the Bar. That's so sweet.
Oh, love that.
I do the marketing, but the press, I'm more interested in Chris being a shepherd. Should we have an image of both of us, each of us, including the sheep and or working dog, or all variations of the above?
All variations of the above. And also a really good angle for you is 5 pieces of advice I'd give for working with my husband. Five, five, 5 problems we've overcome. They always like a negative angle, the press, but like 5 problems I didn't suspect when I started working with my husband. Anything like that you can pitch in as well, I think is really, really good.
Where do requests come from when they're asking for payment? For instance, I'm getting a lot of emails saying that press are looking for people in my industry.
Oh, yeah, Debbie, I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of them. They're not coming from the newspaper or the magazine a lot of the time. They're coming from their advertising partner. You don't need to respond. If you're getting hammered with them, I would just say, please stop emailing me. Advertising is not part of our strategy. That's all you need to say. Sometimes smaller magazines, if you pitch to a smaller magazine, like a local magazine or a more niche publication, the person that you pitch to might come back and say, we've only got paid opportunities. Now, with someone like that, you want to keep the relationship. So again, you can just say, look, we're a small business. Advertising isn't part of our strategy at the moment. Or you say media advertising isn't part of our strategy. So we're only really interested in PR. So please let us know if there's any opportunity with this in the future.
Is it a good idea to advertise in our largely circulated local magazine coupled with radio coverage, i.e. 10 announcements included in a package?
I'm not an advertising specialist, so I couldn't comment. I personally think advertising budget is personal to every single brand and business. So it depends what you think your budget is best spent with advertising, but I'm not an advertising specialist, so I wouldn't like to comment.
No problem. For those of us who live in bilingual areas, would it be best to do an article bilingually or 2 separate ones?
I think it depends what the publication normally prints in or what language they use. I would say lead by their language and pitch to them in that, and then they'll guide you if they want it in. If for example, if they want it in English and Welsh, they'll guide you.
Do you have some good practices for businesses with only 1 or 2 people who want to concentrate on local area press?
Sorry, I've missed the first bit. Do I have
some good practices for businesses who just have 1 or 2 people?
It's exactly the same. Everything I've said today still stands. Like, if you've got a product, be proactive with pitching it. If you are a service-based business and it's maybe not the most exciting service, like PR, for example, it's not like maybe a nail salon. Like, if it's like not the most exciting service, really lead with your expertise. And the more kind of personal angle you can put on, and I actually saw someone comment before, I don't know where they've gone, about, they got some coverage about, oh, there you go, Stephanie, yes, I had some press coverage about endometriosis despite running an accountancy practice. That's such a great example, securing coverage about something that isn't about your business, but it's more personal. I would say that's a really great way to get great press.
When you respond to a request with 3-paragraph pitch, are you then expected to answer questions to expand on the topic?
Depends that all depends on how they formulate their article. Sometimes they might send you questions if it's an interview. Sometimes they might just ask you for a comment. It might just be a very short comment. You'll see like, Stephanie from such and such accountancy practices says the new budget is blah, 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 blah. So it might just be something very, very short. That completely depends on what they are writing. But, it doesn't have to be 3 paragraphs. It might just be, you're responding to something very briefly that they're looking for, and they might just take it from that email. It depends.
Has anyone got any last minute questions? Do pop them in. Oh, one just popped into the Q&A right on cue. You mentioned a backlink, but what is that? Does this mean that we should ask a journalist or editor to add a hyperlink to our website in the article?
Never ask them. I think something with press is going with the expectation of, your job doing PR is just to email them. Anything that comes out of that is really, really beneficial. A backlink is a link from a website like the Telegraph or the Times or the Guardian or even smaller publications that links directly to your website. A lot of time press will just do it. I personally, if I got featured in the press and they didn't backlink me, I wouldn't email them, because I think the relationship is actually more beneficial than kind of you demanding links, even though you might not be doing it in that sort of way. But if you do get them, and a lot of the time they do give them, it's really, really valuable because it will increase your SEO. Google likes them. It'll drive people to your website. So yeah, it's very, very, very beneficial.
I think we've covered this one a little bit, but I'll ask it anyway. I have had some publications offering me monthly contributor, which is paid. I have refused. Is that the right thing, do you think?
It depends on the publication. You do get paid for monthly contributions. I think it depends on the quality of the publication. Like for example, Craft Focus, the magazine, very common that they'd pay someone that's contributing monthly. If it's a publication kind of that you've never heard of and seems a bit dodgy, it might be dodgy, but it might be legit.
I think sadly they want
Oh, they want me, they want me to pay. Yes, avoid. Never pay for press coverage. Never, ever, ever.
Oh. Lovely. If anyone's got last minute questions, do pop them in. Before we go, Rosie, do you have any final words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
Yes, I would say just start. There's never a perfect moment to start PR. Once you've got the images I talked about, and if you can't kind of muster up any of them, just get some headshots. I'm actually going to do some headshots for me in the next few weeks. I'm going to actually do them. I know I don't preach this, but I'm actually just going to do them on my iPhone because I can't get a photographer in time. Just so I can do some more profile pitching. So just start. The other thing is don't be afraid of the press. They're really nice. Don't think it needs to be perfect. I've given you some really good advice today on like basics, but everyone does PR in different ways. So you're not stupid, you're not doing it in the wrong way. And finally, position yourself as an expert because the people who are experts get the most press.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. There's been so much love for you in the chat. Everybody's saying thank you so much.
Thanks,
Didn't know
guys.
where to start. Now they feel they do. So really appreciate you taking the time, Rosie, today. Thank you, all small businesses, for joining. We'll be back here at 11 a.m. So I hope to see you tomorrow and hope to see some of you in the press very soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.